When in Baguio is a local tech startup advocating the digital transformation of the Cordillera Region primarily through creating the most comprehensive online database of restaurants, hotels, attractions, events, and activities found in Baguio City. Maui Fernando is COO and co-founder at When in Baguio. So hello Maui, we're very happy to have you dito sa Startup Podcast.
Magandang araw, magandang gabi, magandang tanghali sa mga nakikinig ng Startup Podcast. And thank you, Johnny, for having me here at Startup Podcast. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, I'm very excited to learn more about you and especially about When in Baguio. I really love Baguio as a place and I really I really see no na nagda-thrive ang ecosystem, ang startup ecosystem, and especially Baguio as a tourist spot, as a area na madaming nagta-travel, madaming nagpupunta actually every summer usually ano. Pero let's start with the first question, Maui. So ano nga ba ang When in Baguio?
To be perfectly honest with you and to all those listening, we haven't fully figured out what When in Baguio is because we started as a website. We just for fun lang na how can we capitalize the Filipino addiction to social media and internet use. So we started from there, and then eventually we pivoted to creating an online directory of everything, which we failed significantly because there's no revenue. There's no revenue doon. Yung business model namin, I didn't even know what a business model is when we started the project last 2016. And because of the pandemic, we pivoted again. We have now a mobile app. We have a delivery app. And we're trying to be Baguio's tech startup.
Yeah. Actually,
So,
first of all, I want to say no, na I think it's kind of ordinary naman ano na pivot kasi in the first place you really don't know how to do that product market fit. Ano nga ba talaga exact na kailangan ng mga tao that you're trying to serve, and it's normal to kumbaga baguhin ng baguhin. Maybe you started with a directory, and maybe medyo mahirap nga magkaroon ng sustainable business model, maybe ads, maybe ganung way ano, pero baka mahirap siyang maging sustainable. And now you're building an app na I think, so maybe later we can talk more about ano, pero parang directory siya and database, and kumbaga doon titingin ng mga tao what's in Baguio. Pero pag-usapan muna natin ang Baguio as the place because I really love Baguio. I've been to Baguio many times and you're a local. So first question, as a Baguio local, what are your maybe top 3 ano na parang personal favorite things or places or maybe food sa Baguio?
so ako number one, siguro what makes Baguio special for me is for the place itself. It's chaotic and peaceful at the same time. uh, when I went overseas and to the other places in the Philippines, I still long for the chaotic atmosphere of Baguio in the day and the peaceful atmosphere in the night. So, of course, the weather is a bonus. Of course, the weather is a bonus. Hindi katulad na when you go to the metro, it's chaotic day and night.
Chaotic lang.
Yeah, so I think that's one. Number two, it's very cheap to live here. Your money will come a long way. Of course, the way of living is very different. We could walk for a few kilometers and don't mind walking at all.
Yeah.
So I can walk 3-4 kilometers no problem with me, and I enjoy the atmosphere, seeing the people walking with me, the busy street, the growth of the city itself, and food. There's no favorite one, but the fresh ingredients probably.
Actually.
It's very accessible to buy vegetables in the market. Even though I'm not a vegetable lover myself, I appreciate the freshness of it.
Pero ang napansin ko talaga when I go to Baguio, napakatotoo na ang hilig maglakad ng mga tao sa Baguio. I think baka mas fit nga sa mga tao sa Manila kasi really, I mean, hindi gano'n ka-bothersome maglakad kasi malamig, hindi mainit, so mas kaya mong maglakad.
So,
Tas isa pa ang napansin ko sa Baguio na sobrang ganda, ang mura ng taxi kumpara sa Metro Manila. Tsaka yung mga taxi drivers hindi yung plus 40 ganyan. So,
yes.
siguro nga kasi mas 'no, mas nababalance yung ekonomiya ng supply and demand with the taxis. But anyway, siguro mag-share din ako 'no, bilang turista dahil hindi man ako taga Baguio. Siguro when it comes to place, baka medyo cliche pero favorite ko si Burnham Park. Actually, nung bata kasi ako, we go to Baguio and sobrang memorable sa akin yung bangka dun sa lake, dun sa Burnham Park. Yung bibi pa yung shape nung bangka.
So,
When it comes to things, actually masaya bumili ng mga bagay-bagay sa Baguio. I think it's in the public market. Tsaka siyempre favorite ko ang weather, tsaka favorite ko yung parang night market ata siya yung street katabi nung
yeah.
Burnham Park or basta
Harrison Road, yeah.
malapit sa Session Road pala, sorry. So may night market dun. So masaya mamili ng mga kung ano nung bagay dun. And syempre food siguro strawberry taho, medyo cliche Tsaka actually may grapes taho nung huli ako nakita tsaka ube jam at tsaka I like this place may isang place sa Session Road, I think siya malapit. I'm not sure, hindi ako taga Baguio eh. Ililikha. So
Yes,
I
yes.
love that place and parang may mga
It's
food
owned
din
by
dun.
Kidlat Tahimik
Yes,
National
yes,
Art.
yes, yes, yes. Anyway, enough with that, Baguio reminiscing and appreciation, because I really love Baguio
Baguio
and
memories.
I really think if a Filipino, parang siguro makonsider na to go to Baguio because it's really a very wonderful place for me. I mean, that's what I think. Pero going to the startup when in Baguio, so you said no na parang you try to capitalize on social media and maybe Baguio as a tourism place. Pero what was the mission? I mean, I'm sure you have a mission. I'm sure you have something to achieve. So, and I'm pretty sure it's related to like parang showing or exposing Baguio to the whole country. So, can we just know parang ano ba yung naging purpose or mission nung when in Baguio when you started?
Uh, if I'm gonna be honest, of course it was to earn money. But eventually it became more than money. It somehow transformed to be a legacy. What uh what will we leave behind in this world? What will be our contribution to the development of the city that nurtured us? So yun yung naging driving force namin. So now we are creating jobs. In our office, we have 10, we have 20, around
Wow.
20 to 25 delivery riders. We're
Mm.
generating some revenue for those small restaurants as well. So it's we're like giving people opportunity with what we're doing. And we plan to double and triple those numbers as we move forward.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm saying maybe nag-start nga lang siya na you want to capitalize
Yeah.
pero eventually you're empowering Baguio in itself, Baguio residents and Baguio as a place. And parang maybe yun nga exposing Baguio and maybe attracting more travelers. So let's go dun sa may app you've developed and you've actually released the app. Correct me if I'm wrong, ang pangalan niya ay When in Baguio Eat. So I think it's focused on eat. Pero yeah, so what can we do in the app and bukod sa eat, can we also browse other things in Baguio, other places of interest sa Baguio. So basically, can you tell us about the app Basically, can you tell us about the When in Baguio app?
We started with in Baguio Eat during the height of the pandemic. So actually, I was supposed to be going to Manila already. Throw in the towel, sabi ko. Mukhang the startup thing is not working.
Mm,
So I'm ready to
especially
throw in the
pandemic.
towel. Yeah, so lahat ng namin nun, lahat ng personal businesses ko and with my business partner, medyo talagang bumagsak. So ako I'm a licensed pharmacist. by profession. So I was supposed to come back and
Ah,
work in the front lines already. So I'm
okay.
ready to throw in the towel. Then
Mm.
eventually, when I was packing, sabi, my business partner, Clifford Gonzalez, uh, he was my bandmate. We were scholars since high school. So we used to play the trumpet.
Wow.
So, kaya yun yung story namin kung paano kami nag-meet. And sabi niya, what if we make a delivery app? Because
Hmm.
everyone orders from brand pink and brand green during that time. So, sabi niya, and there's no local businesses in there. So, because primarily I investigated first. Uh, those big brands have have big commission. So around 15 to
Yeah,
35%
true.
ng commission nila.
Mm.
So during that time, there was no choice.
Mm.
No one was offering an alternative choice.
Mm.
So since ang forte ni Clifford is web dev, he
Mm.
is not a mobile app dev, bumili kami ng code
Wow. Meron.
initially. Kasi, yeah, kasi wala kaming malaking capital at that time.
Mm.
At the same time, yung limited expertise. So, inupuan namin, di kami naligo at natulog ng, I think, 2 months. So, I was in charge of how would it make revenue. So, I started contacting the uh, well-loved food brands here in Baguio. And then, eventually, it started picking up because of our brand when in Baguio. Um, People seem to trust us already with
Mm.
our large following in
Mm.
Facebook on our websites because we're generating at least 1 million reach per month sa Facebook page namin at that time. So, pinush namin subtly. Hindi kami advertise ng aggressive kasi we knew that the app was not good.
Mm.
Hindi siya ganun kaganda aesthetically, but it is functional.
Mm. Mm.
So, our initial workers are those na mga displaced street vendors. They were our first delivery riders.
Flavor. Wow.
So, sila yung mahilig kasing maglakad-lakad sa umaga sa may mansion, the mansion, tsaka
Yeah.
area yung business partner ko. So, somehow, acquainted siya sa kanila. And naawa siya for some reason. So din, tapos yun. And for the first, and negative lang kami nung first month. Tapos medyo break even nung second to sixth month. And then afterwards, nagpa-profit namin. So
Wow.
lahat, so in 6 months, we were getting the profit. Nag-ROI na kami. Because
Wow.
dalawa lang kaming staff at that time. So ako ang operations, ako ang accountant, lahat ng business related sa akin, lahat ng tech sa business partner ko.
Mm.
So, from there, wala naman kami masyadong cost. Sa apartment lang kami. Sinus yung mga rider kumakatok lang sa apartment para magbigay ng disbursements nila. Tapos everything started from there and eventually we made our first hire and then our second and then our third. And all of the revenue for the last two years we were reinvesting it back to the company so that we could invest in the actual technology. So
Mm.
next month, dun na yung katas nung kinita na for the first 2.5 years. So we partnered with Rock Squad Tech Corp because we can't find any dev teams, local dev teams here in Baguio somehow. I don't know why. I think everyone is going in the metro or overseas for the IT industry. So uh, he was referred to us by uh, my friend JP Soliman of Union Bank. And from there, yeah, develop. Now we have 9 apps.
9 apps?
So, yeah, 9 apps. 3, yung dati, when in Baguio Eat. And another 3, yung bago namin, si When in Baguio. So, siya is, yung When in Baguio Eat, magiging When in Baguio siya.
Okay.
So, ang feature niya is food delivery pa rin, pero magdadagdag na kami ng pasalubong, shops which are non-food, and grocery. So, yun yung first muna namin. Then, eventually, we're trying to have like a directory ng mga, balik kami dun sa core namin na directory. So, we're asking our development now is, kasi laging nagtatanong yung mga tao, saan yung mga pasyalan. So, simple lang, where are the parks, tapos, kami na ang nag-Google Pin, and then, susundan mo na lang. So, parang kami na ang nag-organize and nung information, and then, by simply clicking, you'll just drive or follow to that location.
Yeah.
And then, another one, we developed a logistics app called Adda. So Adda is an Ilocano word meaning there is or meron. Kasi it was an idea of my wife. Kasi sabi niya, bakit kung when in Baguio lang, at sa Baguio lang kayo? How will you expand to like nearby provinces in the Cordillera or in North Luzon? So we started creating it, and then it was not so good. It was not that good kasi wala siya nung brand recall that When in Baguio has, and we were not. We were like testing the waters. What will happen if we go to this place na hindi kilala yung brand natin without marketing budget? So, doon namin, yung mga failures namin na hindi na-experience and challenges because kilala na yung brand namin, ina-experience namin sa ADA. So, we incorporated last year, and then we have several departments in When in Baguio app, When in Baguio Digital, ADA. So, kept on branching out.
Yeah.
And we're also pushing for When in Baguio merchandise na rin. Parang may napansin namin yung mga Baguio shirts, and parang ang hirap niyang isuot for us. Walang sense of pride. Parang nakakahiya yung mga sinusuot ng tourist. So we want to create a sense of a source of pride for Baguio people. Hey, I'm from Baguio. Yung kapag yung tourist level na souvenir shirt, parang yuck. Usually ganun yung mga asaran sa Baguio.
I can imagine.
Yung mga local. So pag nagsuot ng Baguio bonnet, funny ka.
So,
tapos local ka. Yeah. Yeah.
I think I understand that.
So yun yung namin. Then When in Baguio Digital will push through with yung mga advertising and directory. So we segmented them. And dinagdag namin yung outsourcing services namin. So, we're trying to launch rin next month booking of cleaning services. So, freelance, rin. So, that's our story.
Yeah, actually, napakaganda ng story. And for me, I must say, it's actually inspiring na You said no na baka parang may times noon na gusto mo nang sumuko. Pero actually, it turns out na ang inyong investment ay napupunta actually sa branding. Hindi man naging profitable nung panahon na yun. Pero na-create na yung napakalakas na brand na nagkaroon ng opportunity, nag-build ng opportunity na gawin yung online delivery. So, nung start yung online delivery, naging madali yung pag-adapt ng mga tao kasi you have you have the image, you have the reputation compared nga sa brand pink or brand green, they want, if they want to support local and maybe baka mas convenient, baka mas madali. And it's true that you mentioned about the commission. Yun yung napakalaking problema sa business model, I think, na with regard to this other brands. Kasi somehow, na-damage, I'm not that sure, pero na hindi ganun nasusuportahan yung mga local SMEs, yung mga local restaurants. Possibly nabibigyan ng exposure, nagiging mas madali na bumili doon. Pero with those fees, with those may mga epekto. So ayoko na mag-dig deeper. Maybe in a part 2
Yeah.
episode we can talk more about that Pero it's really amazing na and then when you made the online delivery, now naging ecosystem na siya. Nabuo niyo ulit yung larger na gusto niyo gawin in the first place na parang comprehensive database, not just for locals but also for tourists.
Tourist, yes.
A minor question lang yung mga deliverers, how do they travel? Do they go by bike, by taxi maybe, by vehicle?
At the moment, motorcycle,
Mhm.
but we're trying to expand on how can we capitalize our taxi drivers as well.
Yes.
Kasi napansin namin, may downtime sila after nung rush hours ng pasukan. Tapos nung uwian, yun lang yung mga rush hours nila. So, and grocery, hindi naman mag-fit ang grocery sa motorcycle because it's too heavy. They will be accident prone. So we're exploring na paano siya mako-compute ng algorithm or ng code na sa taxi pag ganitong volume, sa motor pag ganitong volume.
Yeah. At saka ang kinaganda actually sa Baguio, I think kumpara sa Metro Manila, less ang traffic. So, less burden din yun sa mga deliverers kasi kung i-compare mo yung business model, mas makakatipid sa gas. I'm not sure baka traffic. I think medyo tumadami na yung traffic sa Baguio kasi dumadami na yung mga nagta-travel eh.
That's why I would humbly disagree.
Okay.
It depends. It depends though. If it's a long weekend or holiday or cold weather, the traffic is so frustrating. So the 10 to 15 minute travel will be times 3, times 4.
But possible kaya na bikes yung nagde-deliver, like if small items lang naman or maybe isa or dalawang bote ng ube jam ganyan. So do you think possible kaya yung mga bicycles?
We wanted to, but even though our good mayor is pushing for bike lanes, ang challenge is there's too many steep roads.
Mga mga slopes pala, no? Mahirap pala.
Yes. So, yung risk niya, syempre magmamadali pa. Yung takot din namin for accident.
Yes.
So, that's why
nung minention mo about sa taxi drivers na after the rush hour medyo lumalaylay yung kanilang demand. Pero actually, maganda nga na during sa times na yun, baka yung mga tao gusto magmerienda or magpe-prepare na for dinner. So meron silang additional na pagkakakitaan. Tsaka maybe with like the price surge, yung mga price, nag-iba-iba yung price kasi 'di ba per time of the day So pwede din yung ma-utilize para ma-maximize yung kinikita ng mga taxi drivers sa Baguio. But anyway, is this app ba or basically when in Baguio, is this more for locals or more for tourists or travelers? So parang how do you balance those? I know you have departments pero parang ano ba talaga yung aim ng when in Baguio, for locals or for tourists?
Both. Because the number one income of Baguio City is not tourists.
Yeah.
It's transient students. Because Baguio is an educational hub.
Yeah, tsaka
So
maraming
pag
Koreans actually nagpupuntang Baguio ano to study.
before,
Before. Yeah.
before, I think when I was in college, and then nag-transition ng Korean schools into online.
Ah.
And then there were Arab students, kaya dumami rin ang Middle Eastern food dito.
Talaga?
And ngayon, I don't see a lot of foreigners now.
Hmm.
But going back to your question, uh, we want to capitalize on the demand for the local demand. Kasi, of course, there's traffic. People don't want to go out as they wanted to before. Maraming naging homebody. We have more things that could entertain us at home right now. And data shows, number one revenue ng city government of Baguio are transient students. So
Hmm.
that's our number one target as we move forward. And number two is tourists, because
Hmm.
they want to have a one-stop information guide when they go to a certain location. You can't be typing everything in Google every time. So it's gonna be a big help if there's like an app that tells you where to go, what to
Hmm.
find, and for Pasalubong naman, so it's usually time consuming.
Yeah, actually, I want to say that lalo na sa Good Shepherd, pag bibili ka ng ube diyan
Yeah.
napakahaba ng pila. Although maganda ang lugar ng Good Shepherd, pero ang haba ng kailangan mong hintayin para makabili ng ube
So
diyan.
we're working with them already to include them in our platform and to create a website for them. Tapos, i-connect lang namin yung API namin sa website nila so
Ah,
that we could still fulfill their delivery. So, kasi meron kami ng ADA outsourcing services.
okay, gets. Wow,
So,
so
if you
it's
went in Baguio, it's like a digital store. ADA it's their brand, but we're still delivering. So we're delivering both.
yeah. Pero I mean, it's really good no na when in Baguio is really parang digital or like really tech enabled. Speaking lang about the restaurants or yung kasi right now no in the one in Baguio Eat no right now. People can search restaurants. So are this any restaurant in Baguio or parang dapat ba yung mga local restaurants lang or and can you tell us parang how did you get them to join the app? How did you get them to be listed in the app? Parang and right now ba covered na yung buong Baguio? Covered na ba yung lahat ng restaurants sa buong Baguio City and maybe in the outskirts?
Right now, in terms of number of merchant partners or food partners, we limited it at first so that we could test the market. How well does the brands that just opened fare with
Mm,
those known brands?
mm.
Surprisingly, not that much. Kapag kilalang brand, talagang andon yung bulk. Tapos the unknown brands, it's one or two lang in a week.
Hmm,
So because syempre hindi mo kilala,
yeah.
people will still go to who they're familiar with, diba? So that was the challenge for us. But in terms of scope, we deliver uh, from Baguio only at the moment, and then we deliver to the nearby municipalities. So we have the widest coverage. So we deliver in Baguio, La Trinidad, Itogon, Sablan, Tuba, and Tublay.
Hmm,
Those are very far municipalities, maybe 20-25 kilometers away yung iba, an hour or two away, but we still deliver them.
hmm.
And yeah, I I think that's it.
Yep. Actually, ang ganda ng ginagawa ninyong ecosystem tsaka all-in-one app kasi somehow nahihila pataas even nga yung mga not popular brands. Ano. I mean, they get listed, they at least get the exposure, they at least get
Yeah.
the opportunity na mas convenient yung pagbili sa kanila kaysa nung pupupuntahan pa. Tsaka basically, anyone can just find them in an online app. So, I think with this, no, you're really supporting local, you're really helping local, support local, and the tourists support Baguio. Just a question lang, ano, kasi Baguio also has many festivals like the Panagbenga. And totoo ba na during summer ay mataas talaga ang population, ang traffic sa Baguio? Parang may ganun bang trends and may ganun bang trends kapag may festival sa Baguio? Parang gusto ko lang, I'm really just curious ano sa parang trends ng demand ng traffic sa Baguio in 1 year kumbaga.
Before I answer that, I forgot to share paano namin napapayag yung ibang local merchants. I didn't answer that a while ago. Sinaga na puntahan isa-isa and ide-demo talaga. Wala po kayong babayaran o order, basta may umorder, pindutin nyo to. And kapag if there's a problem, just call our office. We have people on site. And some merchants na hindi techy, they don't even know how to use Android phone. So they have an Android phone, but they don't know how to download applications, how to sign up. So kami yun talaga, tsatsagain mo. Tapos we offer the lowest commission, which is reasonable at 10%. And then it's fair for them, it's fair for us. So our mantra is, kapag hindi sila kumita, hindi kami kikita.
Yeah, actually, oo.
And no other fees. We don't have any device fee, marketing fee, all of those unnecessary fees. Kaya, I think, and because we're from Baguio as well, we speak the local language, Ilocano,
So you speak Ilocano.
Tagalog, or English when we're speaking with them. So, okay, maybe we could trust this person.
Yeah.
It's from here. They have an office here.
Actually, given that mas mako-cover nyo nga yung mga talagang local, yung mga talagang hard to find na restaurants or establishments kasi I mean, you use the same language baka yung trust issues 'di ba when pag-Englishan 'di ba? Iba yung talagang you communicate as a local Anyway.
And we found out that we only have very low margin. So beyond 10% is already a burden to them. So yeah, and then answering your question, if there's a festival or Christmas season or Holy Week, the traffic or daytime population in Baguio is so massive. So
Christmas, malamig ang Christmas
Yeah, Christmas season is the worst for
talaga?
traffic. Yeah. So there's a saying goes for Panagbenga, for locals. Ibigay na natin sa mga turista. So
Panagbenga is
Baguio,
February, tama ba? Kailan nga ba ang Panagbenga?
yeah, February. So for Panagbenga, usually locals would tend to stay in their home. Which is a bit sad. Because it's a celebration of bounty and harvest. But the locals choose to give way so that our visitors and tourists could enjoy the festival. And the traffic is so so usually we call it also lakad season, wherein you have to really walk more than you're used to when it's Panagbenga. So the daytime population reaches, I think sometimes, from what I've heard, 1 million.
Wow.
for daytime population and versus the nighttime population of around 350 to 400,000. So that's our demographic.
Yeah, but and hearing all of this I really respect the Baguio people. Very unique ang Baguio City actually. Very unique. Um Region-wise and culture-wise, I think sa buong Pilipinas merong certain uniqueness ang Baguio people. Now, speaking of this, meron din kayo ginagawa sa When in Baguio na parang you produce content on stories on local people. So, why this? I mean, I'm really interested on reading this kind of stories. Pero why did you wanted to start this?
Because people have to know or uh, should know the success stories being produced here. If they still don't know, maybe to give them a sense of inspiration as well. We we can be as successful or as this person or person na by na hindi umaalis dito.
Yeah.
Also, it warms the heart. It warms the heart. Ako for me, I'm a big fan of Eyewitness. And frustration ko nung college na hindi ako pinag-mascom ng parents ko. So ano siya, fulfilling the passion of storytelling.
Yeah, but I mean, storytelling first of all, it's sort of empowerment, 'di ba, for the people na hindi kailangan pumunta ng Metro Manila to be successful. You can find success in your own city, and Baguio is actually very thriving with all those things happening, and especially when in Baguio, no, parang maybe kayo somehow leader sa pag-support and pag-build nung kumbaga economic ecosystem sa Baguio. There's really a bright future for when in Baguio. And also I think this shares some parang mas nakaka-attract ng mga ng mga tao. Kasi ako personally, I went to some places in Baguio like yung Diplomat Hotel, yung mga ganung hotel na may stories behind, may histories, and other places na may historical relevancies. Kasi I really want to know more about the culture and about the stories behind the place, ano. Anyway, it's a very wonderful conversation. I really love Baguio and I really love what you're doing. I really like, kumbaga, the mission as well, no, to support and to empower Baguio City and the Baguio residents. So, Maui, you can invite our listeners, maybe, kung pupunta silang Baguio, maybe they want to download the app. So, where can they download the app? Ano ba yung dapat i-download dun sa mga apps ng When in Baguio? Tsaka, maybe, baka may nakikinig na taga Baguio. So, you can also invite them to with regard to your app. So basically, tell them about When in Baguio.
So for those seeking for quick delivery, but very far from the central business district, you could download our new app, When in Baguio. It's now available in Play Store and App Store. And for those seeking information, we have wheninbaguio.com. It's our website. And please don't mind the design. We're redesigning the website as we speak, and we're inputting new information every day. And hopefully, in a year or two, all all of the things that you need will be available in the palm of your hand when in Baguio.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So so next time na pumunta akong Baguio, I'll definitely download When in Baguio and I'll definitely make the most out of the app. And maraming salamat, Maui, for this conversation. I'm really happy to have this conversation with you, and I'm really honored actually to have When in Baguio in the podcast. Salamat.
Thank you so much for having me as well, and more power to Startup Podcast.
Thank you. Thank Thank you very much to our 30 patrons. This episode is super powered by TechShake, Asia's most active Philippine-based startup ecosystem builder, creating bridges with investors, corporations, and governments. One CFO, the tech-enabled CFO, bookkeeping, and tax services for startups and SMEs. Pinoy IP Works, capture your startup's value proposition through patent and trademark protection. Pocketworks, the leading enabler and only Internet of Things social enterprise in the Philippines. Looking for buy and sell online with Sigurado sellers. NutriCoach, the all-in-one productivity tool for dietitians and nutritionists. Benjoy's Food Products, the home of premium bacon ends, tapa, and tocino. And D-Buzz, microblogging app powered by the Hive blockchain promoting freedom of speech and content ownership. This episode is powered by AltSwitch, ePlayment, Twala, and Hive Energy PH. AskLex PH Academy is our official e-learning partner. Get certifications on Lean Six Sigma, project management, data science, and many more. Support the podcast through the links in the description.